Hello students, here is Ashu Gupta, Assistant Professor. Again welcomes you all on the behalf of the Indraprasth Law College. Although we have already discussed the various topics in detail in the previous lectures, wherein we have discussed the nature of recognition, and we already discussed about the constitutive theory regarding the nature of the recognition. And in this lecture we will discuss about the declaratory theory regarding the nature of recognition. If you want to know about the previous one, means that the constitutive theory, what is the constitutive theory, then you may see the back lectures and take benefit from these. So now let's open the today's box and start the conversation regarding the declaratory theory. First of all, you already know that recognitions means the term recognition on the international level may be defined as the acknowledgement or the acceptance by the members of the international community. Means that recognitions is a chapter wherein the area of the acknowledgement or the acceptance is described on the international level or among the various international communities or the various states. That's why after that a new state has acquired international personality, which is said to be a recognition. You already know that. And there is two types of theories which is covered under these provisions in the name of constitutive theory or declaratory theory. Constitutive theory is already discussed in the previous lecture. So in this lecture we will discuss about the declaratory theory, which is also known as the evidentiary theory. So that theory represents in two names. First one is declaratory theory and the second one is evidentiary theory. Constitutive theory you may know very well. Now, what is the wordings of the declaratory theory regarding the nature of the recognition? There are basically many types of jurists who support either constitutive theory or the declaratory theory, but herein we are discussing about the declaratory theory. That's why there is a chief exponent of this theory are Hall, Wagner, Fisher and Bradley, while the chief exponent of the constitutive theories Oppenheim, Hegel and Engelty, which are already described in the previous lectures. And in these theories, in the declaratory theory, basically we will discuss the views of the Hall, big jurist. The next one is Wagner, Fisher and Bradley. These four jurists are the chief exponent of this theory, and according to this theory, the statehood or the authority of new government is not dependent on the consent of the existing state. So basically that is the main concept of this theory, but that is based on some prior or existent fact. I think you may clearly recognize that words, the statehood or the authority of new government is not dependent on the consent of existing state. Means a part where the state says that we are not dependent to recognize from any other authority. So that's why he says that he already have an existence and maintain his sovereignty. That's why he is independent, and he has no any criteria to recognize or to certify by the other state. And according to the followers of this theory, the recognition by the existing states is merely a formal acknowledgement of the statehood and not the condition. In fact, the statehood is dependent on the some prior conditions necessary for an entity to be called as a state. So that's why that is a basic part of declaratory theory. But as other theories, there is also a part of criticism, and declaratory theory also having this problem by the criticizers, who says that this theory is not correct, that in all cases the existing fact shall imply the statehood. Rather, sometimes the statehood may be constitutive. So if we conclude both the theories interpreting in the nature of the recognition under this concept of international law, so we can conclude that both the theories are insufficient to reflect the real explanation of recognition, and in fact there shall be intermediate course of approach between the two theories to understand recognition. Briefly speaking, the definition of recognition depends upon the mode, scope and nature of each cases. Or you can say that in other words, recognition may be sometimes constitutive and sometimes declaratory. So that is the whole concept behind the nature of the recognition, which covers through the constitutive theory or the declaratory theory, and very well concluded in the last words says that recognition may be sometimes constitutive and sometimes declaratory. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the types of the recognition, how many types of recognition are there in international law, and hope you will have been enjoyed the whole session and successfully enumerated it into your study and be benefited from this presentation. We will meet soon again in the next lecture. Thank you very much.